Alright guys, the Iceman here on the Jeffrey Rose YouTube channel. I was watching a video today by Gemini888 and he was talking about his DVD reviews, and he was talking about old school wrestling, and he was basically saying that he's not getting too many views on his old school reviews. And I commented to him saying that basically there's a lot of young YouTubers here on YouTube now. A lot of the older guys that were around when we first started YouTube originally um, are either gone or they don't use their YouTube channel anymore. But so the fact of the matter is, a lot of these young guys never saw any of these matches from way back in the heyday. And I was thinking after I watched this video, I was thinking back in the great old good old days of professional wrestling, especially in the NWA Worldwide Wrestling. And I was thinking about the Rock and Roll Express and their great feuds they had with the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. So I went on YouTube and I did a search, and I found a match where the Rock and Roll Express were NWA Tag Team Champions, and they went up against the Midnight Express, Loverboy Dennis and Beautiful Bobby Eaton. And so, of course, the Rock and Roll Express consisted of Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton. And if you watch this match, I have the link in the description box. Go back and watch this match. This was from August 23rd, 1986, Worldwide Wrestling. It was at the Charlotte, North Carolina Coliseum. The fans were so close to the ring. I mean, the place was so loud, you probably couldn't even hear yourself talk. I mean, it was so exciting. And I remember watching back in the days of Worldwide Wrestling. I faithfully watched it every Saturday, and sometimes it was on Sundays. And I remember me and my dad used to watch it. And I mean, wrestling was so great back then. Worldwide Wrestling had a roster, an enormous roster of such great superstars. I can't even begin to name them all. But I mean, I can tell you it's like Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, the Koloffs. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But, after watching Jem's video, and I'm thinking to myself, he's absolutely right, because a lot of these younger guys just never saw it. And they need to go back and see footage of wrestling from the past. Now, like I said, this was from 1986. So you're talking 27 years ago. And to this month, actually. And if you guys go back and watch this match, you'll say to yourself, and you'll just see the surroundings, the crowd, how noisy it was, and you'll know how great wrestling was back in those days. I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, you can't go back into the past. Wrestling today is what it is. The WWE and TNA, they are what they are. I like watching both of them, but I'll tell you this much. I would, if I ever had a choice, to pick from the way professional wrestling was back in the mid-'80s and what it is now, I would go back to the mid-'80s in a heartbeat if I knew it would all come back. It is phenomenal. So all you young YouTubers out there, if you see this video, check the link in the description box. Go back and watch this phenomenal tag team title match for the NWA tag team titles with the Rock and Roll Express, the NWA champions, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, going up against Jim Cornette and his Midnight Express, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, and Loverboy Dennis. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And you'll see just how much excitement there really was back then. And then just do some searches for some more matches back in the old NWA days, and you'll know what some of us old school wrestlers are talking about. This is why a lot of times we do discuss old school type wrestling matches, because those were the matches that we first grew up with, and those were the matches that were in a day that will never ever be replaced in wrestling history. I mean, yes, the WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, They all are good. I mean, I don't take nothing away from them. But back in the days of the NWA Worldwide Wrestling, there was nothing ever better than that. I mean, it was just totally phenomenal. And if you've never seen it, really don't even voice an opinion because you don't know what you're missing out on. You need to see it before you can base yourself and put an opinion on it. Because if you do watch it, you'll say, hey, wow, man, the Iceman's right. Gemini's right. I mean, we're missing out on a lot of great wrestling. And by watching these matches from the 80s, it's almost like you're watching it today. I mean, when you're watching it, you get so involved in it. I mean, it's like you're right on the edge of your seat when you're watching some of these matches. It's just like it's happening right now. And for me, when I watch them, it does seem like that because it's so embedded in my mind, in my memory, because those were what I lived for back then in those days. I mean, I never missed a Saturday and a Sunday watching Worldwide Wrestling. I mean, to me, that was the ultimate of professional wrestling back then, back when the Crockett's owned it. And we also had, as far as the announce team went back then, we had Tony Schiavone, which a lot of people should know because he went on to WCW and he also did a stint a couple times in the WWF, WWE, and David Crockett, who was one of the brothers of the owners of the Crockett promotion. So get a chance, go back, watch this match, and then you'll know what Gemini and the Iceman are talking about. This is old school stuff. This is the ultimate in professional wrestling. Nothing ever could ever replace it. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night.